Hello, 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 good people. Hello, hello. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for August 8th, 2017. I'm about a week out from my birthday, and actually, my birthday falls on a Thursday when I normally get with you for the perspective, so you can help me celebrate my birthday next week. Okay, so I want to spend a few minutes with you today on what I have entitled The Curse of Comparison. The Curse of Comparison. Hello, Marshall. Seems like I just saw you. Hey, Sherman out there. Okay, so I've entitled this perspective The Curse of Comparison because I think it is a trap that starts early in our lives and continues on and on, probably a little too long. Thank you for all who are joining me, especially the East Coast folks. It's a little late. So this comparison thing that we have going on, and it works in one of two ways. We either choose someone that we know we are better than in certain areas. You think you look better. You think you're smarter. You think you have more degrees. You think you have more personality and charm and more friends. You make more. Your house is bigger. Fill in the blanks. And that allows us, falsely so, that allows us to give ourselves a lift up, an edge of superiority, because the person we've chosen to compare ourselves to is less than in a certain area. Or we flip the switch and then we compare ourselves to someone who is better than we are in whatever area we're choosing, and it will paralyze us. Hello, Aziza Joy. It will paralyze us. And my classmate, I see you out there. And so either way, it's not good for us to do that. And the reason I brought this up was because I saw it live and in color, and I had to think back to myself earlier in my life. I think at a certain point we grow to get a clue that it's worthless. You're beating yourself up for nothing. Because in the case of when we compare ourselves to someone who is better than, it literally, and I can speak for myself, it literally has gotten me no forward momentum, no progress whatsoever, actually paralyzing, stopping me from doing. I recall a certain incident, and I chose someone that in my head I said, okay, that's a goal to shoot for. I was just doing that. Actually, I was really comparing myself. And because they were more experienced and had been doing the thing longer, they were better. They were absolutely better. They had different gifts. They had different skills. They had different experiences. And it got me to the point where I said, well, I can't do it like that. I just won't do it. I'm a very competitive person, so I want everything done in excellence. Not taking into account that you have to learn to become excellent. It takes time to gain the experience. You got to fall a couple of times. You got to get knocked down a couple of times to get back up and say, okay, that's not quite the way we do that. Okay, next time I'll handle it better. But it paralyzed me, and I did not move forward. I said, well, I can't do it like that. Let me just stop. And that's the danger. That is a curse of comparison, especially when we're looking for someone who is better at it, who has been in the game longer than we have. And so I want to encourage you to take a very realistic inventory of who you are lining yourselves up with, who you're lining yourselves against, who you are aligning yourselves to. Okay, because again, the opposite leaves us with an air of superiority that we don't rate. Because you believe you're smarter. Again, you have a bigger house, as if that means something. You make more money, as if that makes you a kinder, better person. So it's a false balance. It's a false balance. Thank you, Herbert. Thank you very much. It is a false balance. It's a false comparison. And it gets us down the lane of superiority, which does not work. It's a false balance. Okay? And so it's like a spiral effect. Sometimes we bounce back and forth between, you know, I got knocked down a peg, so even unconsciously, I'm going to go look for someone so I can just even internally feel, haha, And you do this thing, even if you don't say it out loud, you get the sense, and it's an arrogance, and it's an ugly arrogance of superiority. And then we bounce from that end of the spectrum back to the other, of feeling dejected and feeling almost worthless. I asked my daughters the same question earlier, and some of those same terminology came out of their mouth. You know, when I compared myself, it left me feeling embarrassed almost. I don't even talk about that portion of my life. FOMO. Okay, I don't know what FOMO is. Rosalie, help me out with that. FOMO. I'm behind the power curve. You got to help a sister out. FOMO, help me out. Okay, so, but it bounces us back and forth between things that are, we must start with an honest self-assessment. It's like you're being in the amusement park or in the mall, and it says, you are here. Okay, we have to be able to self-assess where we are. Oh, thank you very much. Fear of missing out. Thank you. Okay, it is. It's that fear, and it's a spiral. Okay, and it will strangle you. It will strangle you into inaction. It will handcuff you. It will paralyze you to inaction. And the false sense of comparison that you're not worth it. You're not worthy, nor are you worth it. And so when we truly do a self-assessment, we have to make sure that we are comparing ourselves to a standard, not a person. Although we can use people as goals, we just have to be very careful that we don't allow that to go into the comparison. A goal, yes. A comparison, no. We all have our individual skills and gifts and talents and experience level. Thank you, Cindy. Experiences, okay? Because anybody that is there that you're looking to, they didn't start there. They didn't start there. They had to start, and they had to stumble, and they had to fall. Last thing I'm going to say before I go. I'm encouraging everyone to take a picture of yourself, especially if you are an adult and out of high school. Take a picture of yourself. Go back to that old high school or even middle school yearbook and cut your picture out of how you looked then, how you used to think, your mindset. Take that picture from high school or middle school and post it on in your office. If you have an office, or especially for those of us who are in leadership, especially. Take the picture of yourself in high school or middle school. Post it. This ain't nothing to hide. You post it. And then you put a picture of where you are now, so that any and everyone who comes in and even for one instant is using you as their comparison, not a goal, but as a comparison, can see this is where you started. This is who you were. I'm not ashamed of that person. Yep, look at me, big glasses and all, big old afro and all. Look at that person, but you need to know that this person began right there. So that people are not so quick to beat themselves up or knock themselves to the ground. Okay? The courage to tackle. Oh, Curly, I just love you so much. Okay, but we have to be real about that. When we allow people to think that we've always been all that, that's a lie. And it's a discouragement, because how can they get there when they're still back here at that middle school picture, that awkward stage, that person who was always so afraid to talk and felt as if they messed up everything that came out of their mouth. Okay, that person, blow that picture up and put it beside who you are today. And don't allow anyone to think that you've always been that person. Okay? You started somewhere else. You started somewhere else. Okay. So thank you for all who are joining me. Well, real quick, last thing, I am going to play with the times again. I am seriously considering going back to morning sessions, morning from the West Coast time. Morning sessions, just because I have a couple of masterminds that I will be teaching in the evenings, and I don't like to hop around. So I may be going back, but I'll post it. I'll post it. And if you can join me, I would love it. Share. If you are being encouraged or reminded or thinking about, oh, I never thought about it like that. If any of that applies, share it. Okay? I'm on a goal. I told you I'm on a mission to impact the lives of as many people as possible. Because too many of us are living below where our possibilities are. Okay, we're living below standards. And it's only because we don't know. We just didn't look at it from a different perspective. Okay, until next time, take real good care of yourselves and watch out with that comparison curse. Be conscious of that.